Well, a deep freeze continues throughout the work week. Let's send it over to Greg for the breakdown.
Yeah, pretty much most of the U.S. now, at least the eastern half, has a lot of snow on the ground, including us. We still got snow. Nothing quite impressive for the end of January, but still, overall, it's going to keep our temperatures pretty much going down. Now, the only snow we have a weak system coming through and an opportunity for some light snow, and it's really along 94 or further north. A lot of this activity still is not reaching the ground. I think some of this darker blue may get a little bit to the ground, but as you know, it's not going to impact travel as much, too. As we go further south, that band kind of extends just south of Red Wing. You see no reduction in visibility at all. Further south you go, this band really is not going to produce other than just cloud cover through the night. So although it looks a little bit more impressive on satellite, you see a decent cold front, warm front coming through. Other than getting maybe a slight cooler air mass behind this, it's not going to weigh in much of snowfall. Most of that's going to stay northern Wisconsin to the UP as this comes through. So that's really the only maker we have. And if we track this out, this is the parent temperatures in the background, not the actual temperature. To give you an idea, we're still going to see some wind chills that could get into the teens, below zero at times. But you notice that little activity pushes to the east. And then overall, throughout the night, there could be a little bit of flurry activity further north, but it's going to be fairly quiet. With the breezy conditions as that wind begins to pick up behind the cold front. So you will see wind chills waking up in the teens below zero, maybe approaching 20 at times, but overall it's going to be fairly quiet tomorrow, minus the wind. You can see wind chills, we're looking at 19 below, so still it's going to be cold out there and throughout the morning time frame. And then in the afternoon, we'll probably start seeing the winds drop off a little bit. But as you know, you're still going to be dealing with sub-zero wind chills, potentially teens all day long. So not quite dangerous cold as we've seen, this weekend and last week, but still overall cold with less clouds. If you see temperatures overall, we're going to have them rise a little bit for areas prior to midnight, and then they'll fall back into the teens, maybe even below zero as we get closer to tomorrow morning. They'll probably drop pretty quickly as we see some clearing late. Tomorrow, there's your Wednesday's lows, and I didn't say tomorrow's highs. Wednesday, you got lows back in the single digits below zero, a little colder. A little bit more cloud cover Wednesday, so the highs come up, maybe getting into the teens, so still cold, but maybe not quite as bad as we go into Wednesday. Thursday, we have clearing skies out, so I think the temperatures will fall even quicker Thursday, so we could see some teens below zero in some area, otherwise single digits below zero. And then Thursday, we're going to start seeing, once again, a little bit improvement. Light winds, a lot of sunshine. That'll be the big story from the end of the week is Thursday and Friday is a lot more sunshine. We'll get back into the potential low teens in some areas. Once again, we should be in the mid to upper 20s at this point, so still well below average, but nothing like we see last week. And overall, the big story is Wednesday, Thursday, you'll see this big cold dome begin to push off to the east, and you'll start seeing towards the weekend this milder air begin to push further to the east. That's the good news. So we'll get some more of that mild Pacific air to come into the area Saturday and Sunday. And all next week really looks like we're going to be kind of in the pattern that's more seasonable temperatures than what we've seen lately. So more 20s, maybe potential 30s. And the only chance for snow may come with this transition, and that would occur maybe Saturday night and Sunday. But we're not expecting a lot in the way of precipitation with that. And you notice on the 8-day, all of a sudden you're starting to see 20s next week, which is close to average. Potentially maybe even getting close to 30 at times. So just bear it out, I guess you could say it, through Friday, and then we got some changes coming to get out of this kind of this deep freeze.
I like that 11, 11, 11. That sounds like those are lucky days.